in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We welcome you back to TNA Impact on the road to Slammiversary.
Please welcome Xia Brookside.
And we're joined here in the Impact Zone by Xia Brookside, looking to support Léi Yǐng and the TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich in this tag team matchup ahead of Slammiversary, which of course is 1 week away from Sunday, live on pay-per-view and TNA Plus at the UBS Arena on Long Island, New York. Get your tickets now at TNAWrestling.com.
Following tag team matches scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Chongqing, China, Léi Yǐng.
Once again, Léi prepared to team with the TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich. Léi and Brookside have become fast friends over the last few months and have gone into battle a number of times.
And once again, will be at her side here for this battle.
From Moscow, Russia, she is the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Masha Slamovich.
Someone is guaranteed to make history at Slammiversary. We know this Sunday, it's WWE Evolution. Jayne defends her NXT Women's Championship against TNA legend Jordynne Grace. The winner of that matchup will defend the NXT Women's title against the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Masha Slamovich. It'll be title versus title. Winner takes all at Slammiversary. One of these women will have the chance to be a dual champion across both TNA and WWE.
And their opponents, accompanied to the ring by Jasmine Nix, the team of Fallon Henley, and the NXT Women's Champion, Jayne. Fatal Influence.
But in New York at Slammiversary, Tom, that pendulum swings both ways. There is an opportunity for either one, Masha Slamovich or Jayne, to walk out with 2 championships. We've already seen NXT strike once with Trick Williams, our current TNA World Champion. Could they strike again in New York at Slammiversary on one of our biggest stages? Strike another blow into the heart of TNA wrestling.
You're absolutely right. And listen, I shudder to think about that possible outcome, to see both of TNA's World Championships in the hands of NXT wrestlers. I mean, it's unfathomable. I really don't want to go there, but it's entirely possible. And the way that Jacy, Jayne, and Fatal Influence have been operating for a while in NXT, here in TNA, they're willing to do whatever it takes to win.
I mean, no doubt about it. Jayne veritably shocked the world, defeating Stephanie Baker for that NXT Women's Championship a number of weeks ago. Obviously riding high on that momentum. And look at this!
Taking a cheap shot at Masha.
Immediately going after the head honcho, the top of the mountain here in the Knockouts division.
Now Jayne going to work here against Léi Yǐng.
That said, obviously the confidence, like I said, of Jayne
Tag
through the roof the last couple of months, and it's paid off. But has she bitten off more?
Cover here on Léi and a kick out.
More than she can chew, maybe. Stepping up to Masha Slamovich.
Jayne has wanted gold for quite some time, if you follow NXT, and she's been here in TNA. As a matter of fact, when she was not champion, she went one-on-one with Masha Slamovich. It wasn't too long ago in a non-title matchup. Slamovich defeated Jayne that night.
So the common logic would tell you that Masha Slamovich heading into Slammiversary, that was nasty. That Slamovich has that advantage. There's that psychological hold.
Cover, kick out.
That you can have over someone with a past victory like that.
There's also, I know you talked about the possibly worst outcome for TNA Wrestling at Slammiversary. You do have to entertain it, considering what happened at Battleground.
That's
but
right.
Imagine if Masha Slamovich becomes a dual champion in 2 different companies.
I mean, it would be another history-making moment that we've had in the last couple of months here. But thankfully, that one would swing in the favor and would be so good for the morale, for the locker room, for the spirit here in TNA Wrestling. Look out.
Oh! Fallon Henley getting launched there by Léi. Cover and a kick out.
Léi doing a great job of countering back and forth here with Fallon Henley. But look at that. I don't know if she saw that tag to Jacy Jayne.
Oh, and a huge knee by Jayne. I don't know how Leigh's even on her feet right now. And there's Fallon Henley from around the post. Fatal Influence is taking over against Slamovich and Léi here on Impact.
Nasty kick.
This has been the thing that's impressed me so much about Jacy Jayne. She is an outstanding striker. She is physical. She is intense. She will get in your head. She is the total package, in my opinion.
And here's the thing. You talked about the last time she was here, when she faced off with Knockouts champion Masha Slamovich. In a matter of weeks, winning that NXT Women's Championship has raised the game, raised the confidence level, and you would be shocked at how much that can up your game as a competitor. Just knowing you have that sitting around your waist, sitting on your shoulder, that raises your ability within that ring.
Now Jayne slowing things down. I talked about the head games. The direction that Jayne has Léi facing is just trying to get in the head of Masha Slamovich even more.
Of course. On paper, Jacy Jayne and Masha Slamovich have a lot of things in common. Both incredible strikers. Both can be very unpredictable at times. So it's going to be in New York at the UBS Arena. It's going to be, again, on paper, a very even matchup. Who can gain that psychological advantage is going to play a key role.
Great job by our referee, Paige Brinzavali, making sure Fallon Henley was holding onto the tag rope. Legal tag. Henley cover on Léi and a kick out. And remember, Masha Slamovich can't afford to look ahead to a matchup against Jayne at Slammiversary because this Sunday at WWE Evolution, Jacy Jayne has to defend her NXT Women's Championship against former TNA star Jordynne Grace, meaning either Jayne or Grace will be defending the NXT Women's Championship against Slamovich. Title versus title, winner takes all come Slammiversary. Oh, little back kick there by Henley. Jasmine Nix applauding the effort on the outside. Fallon Henley now into the cover. Léi able to kick out. Léi did get a taste of Fatal Influence. Hold on.
Again.
Another kick out on the countdown to Rebellion back in April in Los Angeles. It's a cover out of frustration now. Henley might be about to snap.
A lot of familiarity amongst several of the players in this matchup, to your point.
Tag made. Jayne is legal. This has been outstanding tag team wrestling by Fatal Influence.
I mean, they have that long-term rapport. On the other side of the ring, I mean, Masha Slamovich, Léi Yǐng, a lot of respect there. Of course, they just recently wrestled for the Knockouts World title, but they are not an established team.
Back elbow. Here's the cover. Jayne trying to win this thing. Kick out.
Certainly not in the same way, with the same amount of influence, if you will, that Fatal Influence has with one another.
Jayne, Nix, and Henley, plenty of familiarity, working together on NXT, obviously catapulting Jayne to the shock NXT Women's Championship victory.
And Léi Yǐng is in a bad side of town, has been now for several minutes, desperately needs to get out of here. Desperately needs a tag to Masha Slamovich.
Fallon Henley really slowing things down here against Léi Yǐng. It feels like an eternity since Slamovich was legal in this match. This Knockouts tag team matchup continues here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Fatal Influence from NXT up against Léi Yǐng and the TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich. Got to show you what happened before the commercial break, however. Here's how the NXT Women's Champion Jacy, Jayne and Fatal Influence cover here and a kick out. Listen to this. Here's how Jayne took over. Oh, this knee on the outside on the apron.
Cover here back in the ring.
Henley cannot put away the matchup. That knee strike changed the complexion of this match.
No doubt about it. Léi Yǐng has had a hard time gaining any ground in this tag team match. Flurries here and there, but Fatal Influence, to their credit, has done a fantastic job of controlling the ring. But they're about to be a window for Léi here.
Léi desperately trying to get to Masha Slamovich, who's been kept out of this matchup for the bulk of the contest. Now Henley with a big right hand, taking away the tag option for a moment. Léi has been here for a long time, has taken a lot of punishment from Fatal Influence.
Here's some more cover.
Oh, and Leigh's still in this thing.
And Henley may have just succeeded in ticking off the Knockouts World Champion. She better hope that Masha Slamovich does not get a tag in this one.
Ooh, crossbody out of the corner. Léi desperately needed that.
That is the opening. That is the chance that Léi Yǐng needs. Needs this tag. To Slamovich, and there it is.
Could this be a preview of Slammiversary? The TNA Knockouts World Champion Masha Slamovich taking it to Fallon Henley and the NXT Women's Champion Jacy, Jayne. Now Slamovich 2 for 1 against Fatal Influence. There's a cover on Jayne, trying to pin the champion, and a kick out. What a momentum boost that could have been for Slamovich on her own road to Slammiversary, regardless of the opponent. Was trying to set up for the snowplow.
Oh, wait here. Could have it here.
Backslide, just for a moment. Oh, went for another knee strike. Slamovich retorts.
And now trying to wrap up Jayne.
Thinking about an air raid crash there, it looked like. Standing switches. Jayne trying to avoid Slamovich in a bump kick.
Nasty kick, and now
Tag.
could we see just a repeat of what was going down with Léi Yǐng before?
2-on-1 opportunity for Fatal Influence. Fallon Henley. Oh, that was beautifully done. The neck breaker off of the ropes. Oh, and a knee! Jayne setting the table for Henley. Cover. Oh, and Léi broke it up at the last second.
Just in the very nick of time. Everybody down in this Knockouts tag team matchup.
This matchup has been outstanding. What a display of tag team wrestling. What a preview of Slammiversary we're getting tonight on iMPACT.
Now it breaks down to the Knockouts World Champion and Fallon Henley, just duking it out in the center of the ring. Masha literally fighting here right on top, literally on top of the 3 letters that she will represent at Slammiversary. In perhaps the most risky matchup, the most momentous matchup to date of her reign.
Certainly one of the biggest gambles that both NXT and TNA have agreed to, that's for sure. There's the cover by Henley to pin the Knockouts champion in a kick out.
And now, though, it's Slamovich. Slamovich in a bad way, in a bad part of town.
Jasmine Nix, the remainder of Fatal Influence on the outside. Zaya Brookside supporting Slamovich and Léi. 2-on-1 opportunity there against the champion. Now Henley and Jayne dumping Léi outside. Oh, and a boot right to the face. Slamovich gets hit with a super kick.
That's the thing, Jayne and Henley are a little bit more fresh here. And now, once again, it's a 2-on-1 kind of scenario, potentially.
Tag made. Jacy, Jayne telling Fallon Henley to end this thing.
Could just be a matter of moments here for the Knockouts World Champion.
Wait a minute, Léi grabbing Jayne. Oh, Léi took out the NXT Women's Champion. Henley got enough of Léi. Back inside, Slamovich and Henley are legal.
Look out!
Snowplow! Cover! Slamovich and Léi beat Fatal Influence.
Here are your winners, the team of Léi Yǐng and the TNA Knockouts World Champion, Masha Slamovich.
This Sunday at WWE Evolution, the pictures surrounding the NXT Women's Championship will become clear. But nonetheless, at Slammiversary, we are guaranteed to see history in the making. One woman will become the first dual champion across both TNA and WWE.
Masha Slamovich building incredible momentum ahead of Slammiversary, where it will be title versus title. Winner takes all.